Folks, ladies and gentle cars, my name is Farkle8000, and welcome back to the spookiest competition on the schedule. And spookiest is right, this Halloween competition has completed round number 1, and for quite a few competitors, it got very spooky in how the rest of their season is going to play out. Both Polar and Virtual had massive hits to the point. Don't know what the full extent of them are yet because the competition is not over. But at the end of the next video, the end of the final rounds video for this competition, we will know how they stack up against the rest of their competitors. Speaking of the rest of their competitors, here is your Round 1 results. We have 68 competitors. That comes out to 17 races. There are no 3-car races. They're all 4-car races, which does mean in the second to last race of this video, Roadster and Demon will be racing against each other. They currently sit second and third in points. Your points leader just barely missed out on being a part of this race. He is thankful right now of the system that we currently have. These are the competitors racing in round number 2. And so, without further ado, without stalling any longer, let's get into round number 2. We begin round number 2 from right to left with Sports, Cage, 96, and Spikes. Oh, I think 96 got caught at the start line. It's Sports leading. 96 is up on her side. Now she goes fully over. It's Cage leading ahead of Spikes, I think, as they cross the line. I don't know what happened to Sports. He went behind that big weight we have holding the track in place and came out the other side, not leading the race. Instead, he was actually in third. 96, that is a devastating result there for 96. Very similar to Courtesy, 96 has had a very, very rough season. Unfortunately, a great run right here. The first time she's advanced to round 2 since January, I believe. This was very unfortunate. She's going to DNF and lose all of those points, but I think she's still getting a pretty hefty amount of points because of how DNF heavy this competition has been. Sports actually does take home second place. We're going to have to make sure that is true, but that's incredible right there. I thought Spikes was the closest, but no one was able to touch Cage. Next up, we've got Finns, Hendrick, Pattern, and Rookie High Tech. And it looks to be Finns a slight lead ahead of Pattern, bouncing through the transition. Everyone was in the air. It's the Rookie driving away from the pack a car length ahead as he crosses the line. Finns limping towards the line. He'll bounce off his finished piece and finish last. I don't know what exactly happened to him. I think more than likely just bouncing through the transition, probably got on the side of the track and that slowed him down just a little bit too much, was unable to recover, and he's unfortunately going to DNF. High Tech, the Rookie, 2 rounds in a row, 2 very impressive wins in a row. He's got, I think, one of the biggest win gaps in this competition so far. Round 1 was pretty large. This one here was more than a car length. So, impressive stuff here by the Rookie. Has struggled a lot here in his first few competitions in the series. Good to see him getting some good runs. Next up, we've got Patrol, Copo, Rookie, Custom, and Rancher. And Patrol in lane number 1 is one of 2 New Yorkers who advanced to round number 2. And it looks to be Copo a slight lead through the transition. He bounces, and now he's on his roof. Patrol was on the side of the track as well. He's straight though, coming across the line behind Custom, who gets the win. Copo is upside down on his roof after a good start to good of a start. He's going to DNF and finish last. Patrol, I mentioned that he is only one of two New Yorkers to have made it to round number 2. He would have done wonders for his points position had he won this race and moved further forwards. Unfortunately, he does not. Got on the side of the track a bit there, and that slowed him down just a little bit too much. Allowed the rookie of Custom to pull away and win the race. Next up, we've got 35 Tire Pros, Lego, and Gamera. And it looks to be a relatively even start through the transition, bouncing Tire Pros on the side of the track. Same with Gamera, coming to the line. Can she win? She slows down, and 35 will win the race. We're going to have a double DNF. Lego and Tire Pros are unable to cross the line. Gamera will grind across the finish line. Something that Lego was trying to do, but just her giant spoiler and being off the track, getting pushed by Tire Pros, all of those unfortunate situations caused it so that they couldn't finish. And 35, the only one who didn't have some sort of issue, Gamera, off the track, Lego off the track, into Tire Pros. Tire Pros DNFs by no fault of his own, and 35 gets the win, advances to the next round. He and Cage are having career competitions right here. This is awesome to see. Next up, we've got Finish, Silver, Mahindra, and Gear Wrench. And it looks to be a relatively even start, maybe Finish in the lead. Now bouncing as Silver is on top of Finish. Now falling back, it's a fight between the NASCARs. Mahindra will win the race. Silver is going to DNF on the side of the track after a wild ride through that transition, popped up on 2 wheels, slid to the side of the track, got on top of Finish, and then came off, kept sliding on her door, until finally she landed on her tires, but was unable to go too much further than a little bit further than half track. Finish unfortunately caught up with Silver, just slowed him down way too much to have a chance at the win. He finishes third. It's the NASCARs that finish 1-2. It has been a long time since we've seen Mahindra and Gear Wrench in the same race together. They started their careers at the same time in the same race. They raced together. They fell deep into the field together until I believe it was Mahindra was the first to advance. And just kind of ever since then, I think they've been apart. Nice to see them back together, but as soon as we saw them back together, Mahindra breaks the band up again. Unfortunate the band's breaking up. Great that Mahindra is advancing to the next round. Next up, we've got DFD, Fishy, Ally, and Daylight. And it looks to be Daylight being left behind early. DFD in the lead now, bouncing through the transition. He's now falling behind. It's Ally in the lead. Here comes Daylight to challenge. But Ally will hold on across the line. The start of this race was very, very jagged. You had lane 1 ahead, and then you had lane 2 slightly behind them, and then lane 3 slightly behind lane 2, and then lane 4 slightly behind lane 3, and that was how they were through that transition. But then DFD bounced, lost all of his momentum, and Ally and Daylight just stormed straight to the front. They started as 3rd and 4th, but will finish 1-2. The two Alex Bowman Ally diecasts get the victory. It's Ally himself advancing to round number 3. Next up, we've got Orange Liner, Sprinter, and Rookies, Quattro, and Hooters. and Sprinter. In lane number 2 is the second and final New Yorker who advanced to round number 2. And it looks to be a slight lead there for Quattro through the transition, a big bounce, and now Sprinter's off the track. Same with Orange Liner. It's Quattro who'll get the win, and Sprinter is gonna DNF here with Orange Liner. That is a devastating result there for Sprinter. Has had a really, really good season, but has been falling late, and that great season is going to be relegated to a very, very disappointing finish with all these DNFs. Sprinter DNFs with Orange Liner, and he wasn't even ahead of Orange Liner, so Sprinter will finish 4th, Orange Liner in 3rd. It was a fight between the rookies for like the 5th time in this competition. The only competitors to finish are rookies. Quattro gets the win ahead of Hooters. Hooters been having a rough time recently with a couple of DNFs in a row there, with TT finally escaped that. There was absolutely no issues this time round and finished 2nd in this one, so a good race, hopefully something to build on for the next competition. Next up, we've got Proto, Reem, Rookie, Viper, and Impreza. And it's Viper, a big lead early through the transition. Can he hold it? He gets on the side of the track, but now he straightens up. It's Proto in the lead, but Reem is right there as they cross the line. That was super, super tight. Everyone is going to be able to finish the race. Viper, your early leader, far behind. It's Proto who wins. Proto been having a pretty quietly solid season, and not top 10 or top 15, but a pretty good and very consistent top 20, top 25 season. Not a season that I would ever think that Proto would be good at, but she has been one of the best from the 2020 season. Next up, we've got Castrol, Miller, Lickety, and Missile. The middle lanes are rookies, the outside lanes are veterans. And it looks to be Lickety slightly ahead of the pack with Missile bouncing through the transition. They're clean. The Lickety's falling back. It's going to be Missile with the win. Miller in 2nd, Castrol 3rd. And Lickety with a bad transition will fall to last place. Man, I really felt like he was going to have the speed through that transition to finally win his way to the next round. He's been really, really good on this track, but unfortunately, he has been consistently inconsistent. Sometimes he wins by dominating fashion, and other times he loses in embarrassing fashion. Unfortunately, this was just an embarrassing loss. The other competitor who started up front with him, Missile, goes on to get the win. Next up, we've got rookies, Strip, Fast Break, and Croissant with veteran Jordan. And it looks to be a relatively even start now. Strip pulling ahead, bouncing into the lead. Fast Break's on the side of the track. It's an easy win for Strip. The battle for 2nd place will go to Jordan, and Fast Break is gonna DNF. Fast Break is such a fast competitor. You know, his name does not lead us astray. However, his performance, he's fast, but unfortunately, he's been consistently DNFing late in these competitions this season. Not to the level of TT, but it's still been rough to see him be so fast and yet often make these mistakes. Strip gets the win, the only non-NASCAR in this race. Put in a little bit of controversy, might have made an enemy in the last round, in round number 1, when he bounced in front of Polar and might have screwed Polar out of a top 10 points finish this year. Strip here takes advantage of it, moves on to the next round. Next up, we've got Pursuit, Mobile, Patriot, and M3. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Pursuit pulling ahead, bouncing in the middle lane. Patriot is able to save it. It's Pursuit in the lead. He'll stay ahead of Mobile across the line. Patriot is able to save it. Comes home in third place, passes M3 late right there. And speaking of passing late, I thought Mobile was going to do that to Pursuit, but ultimately Mobile is just unable to carry enough momentum. Pursuit, I thought, was going to lose it at that finish line bounce, but he's able to hold on to advance himself to round number 3. Next up, we've got EB, Rookie, Nightmare, Blitz, and Plymouth. And it's Plymouth with a slight lead early coming through the transition. Blitz bounces, lands in front of Nightmare. Can Plymouth or EB pass her to win the race? They can't. And off the track, Blitz is going to win the race. That is shades of Strip earlier in this competition. Round number 1. Strip did something very, very similar, except he kind of leaped forward, where Blitz got in the air and kind of couldn't control herself from there. It's EB who comes home in third place. EB in second place. Plymouth is in third. I thought he was actually the closest, had the best chance of winning. He does not. He comes home in third. Nightmare, the competitor that Blitz got in front of, comes home in last. That is very, very frustrating. As a competitor, I have to imagine, at least, you got someone off the track in front of you, and unfortunately, you just didn't have a chance at the win, which is very unfortunate. Blitz, the competitor who got in front of him, moves on to the next round. Next up, we've got Chomps, Rookie, Shifter, Splitter, and 13. And it looks to be a relatively even start through the transition. Chomps wobbles, but I think he's still on track. It's a fight, 3 wide, coming to the line. A big bounce there for Splitter, and Shifter will steal the win at the last second. Man, Chomps nearly DNF through that transition. That was almost disastrous. He's had a rough stretch of competitions here the last couple. Nearly did it again. Nearly DNF'd after a finally good run again. Luckily, he was able to save it, but he comes home in third, and Splitter had it until he popped his front end up through the finish line, bounced away in the air, and Shifter stayed nice and clean, was able to sneak by and steal the win. Next up, we've got Rookie, X-Train, Howler, M&M's, and Kyle. And it looks to be a relatively even start. X-Train pulling ahead, bouncing there. Kyle's now on his side, wobbling and rolling there. 3 wide, coming to the line. It's X-Train who will win the race, and Kyle will DNF on his roof. The Kyle Busch M&M's will unfortunately finish third with M&M's, and then fourth with a DNF, and Kyle. X-Train pulls ahead, was leading coming through the transition, was leading after the transition. Wasn't too easy, though, as Howler and M&M's were right there. It's just X-Train was able to hold them off. Next up, we've got Carrera, Moneyline, High Point, and your points leader, and Rookie, Comic. And I mentioned it just there, introducing him. Comic is your points leader by 23 points over Demon and 46 points over Roadster. Demon and Roadster race in the next race. They're in the same one. So Comic, if he doesn't want to lose points, has got to advance to round 2 right here. Best case scenario for Comic is that he advances and Demon and Roadster are unable to advance themselves. He's got to hope that somebody else wins that race. Also, Carrera in lane number 1 is 11th in points, minus 52 to the cut line. And it looks to be a very even start. Comic and Carrera pulling ahead. Bounce there for the NASCARs. They straighten up, and it's Comic pulling to the line to win the race. Carrera will finish third. Moneyline sneaks into second place after bouncing there through the transition. High Point even got on the side of the track and got into Moneyline. An impressive late race rally for Moneyline. Carrera falls to third, but since she's finishing ahead of Splitter and easily finishing ahead of Polar and the Bug, I have a feeling that Carrera will be inside the top 10 at the end of this competition. We'll have to wait and see, though, what the numbers look like at the very end of this competition. But if we're talking about good fortune and stuff that we want to happen, this race right here for Comic is everything. I mentioned that he is plus 23 ahead of Demon. Demon and Roadster both run in the next race, and I mentioned it before the race. Best case scenario is 50% done. The other 50%, Demon nor Roadster advance to round number 3. There may be 4 competitions left to run after this one, but I feel this next race is a big championship decider. Next up, we've got Roadster, Drone, Demon, and Dual Fueler. The first 2 lanes are rookies, the other 2 are veterans, but Roadster and Demon in lanes 1 and 3 are second and third in points, minus 23 and minus 46 respectively, to your points leader of Comic. Comic just advanced. Only one of Demon and Roadster can advance. Best case scenario for Comic is that neither are able to pull it off. And it looks to be maybe Demon a slight lead through the transition, bouncing there, and now Drone's on his roof, coming across the line. It's close between Demon and Dual Fueler. Drone's gonna DNF on his roof. Roadster in third. It's Demon the winner. Demon and Dual Fueler going head to head. I felt like Dual Fueler was going to be the competitor that was going to be Comic's hope. It was going to be the hope that Dual Fueler was the winner of this race. He hoped that Drone would win it too, but I think he put all of his eggs into the Dual Fueler basket, and it was so close to coming true. Roadster was taken out of it by Drone. Drone getting on his side, got on the side of the track and got into Roadster. Roadster able to finish, but he is going to be losing a ton of points to the points leader, and this race right here might be the reason that Roadster does not become a champion in his rookie season. It's Demon advancing to the next round with the best chance of catching Comic. This is the 17th and final race of round number 2. We've got Fender, Pace, and rookies Mach and Salty. Mach in lane number 3 is 4th in points, plus 235 to the cut line. A good performance in this race could take him off this list entirely as being pseudo-locked in. It's Salty with a slight lead early, now extending it through the transition, bouncing there. Pace was in the air. It's Salty pulling away. Mach will be able to finish second. A tight fight for third, and that will go to Fender. Mach, before we talk about the winner of the race, Mach at plus 235 above the cut line. This will all but assure him that he is going to be more than 250 points above the cut line, and that will take him off the list entirely. And the only time he would get put back on the list is if he gets passed by somebody currently below him. So if Stingray or Voltage or Diablo passes him, then Mach will be put back on this list. But right now, Mach has a great chance of getting taken off, and Salty still looking for redemption from the last competition. He's advancing himself to round number 3. A great chance at redemption. And here are your competitors advancing. Not a single New Yorker made it to this stage, and no competitors from the top 10 conversation advanced as well, but Comic and Demon did, and they're going to be racing Salty in the next round, in the final race of next round. So that is going to be a wild one, because they're going to be racing each other for the championship, but also racing Salty for this competition win. 5 races. I will not be giving you my race by race winner predictions. I'll be giving you that at the end of round 3 going into round 4, but there are some good ones remaining. It's going to be a tough one to pick who finishes second in this competition. God, I'm doing it again! I did this in the last competition too. I completely wrote out everyone, said Salty was easily going to win it, and it ended up being somebody but Salty winning it. So, I mean, it's going to be tough to figure out who truly is going to win this competition. You can say who the favorites are, but the favorites are the favorites and not guaranteed. Let me know in the comments below who you think will advance to round 4 and advance to round 5 and then ultimately win this competition. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of that so you do not miss the end of this competition or the rest of this season. And until next time, my name is Farkle8000, and we'll see you later.